Hi, everyone. Thanks, Candace, for that awesome introduction. I'm super pumped to be here with you all today for Don't Panic, It's Organic. So, we're going to be, like Candace said, talking about developing an automated social media strategy that generates awareness and really builds community during year end. So, we're just going to dive right into it. If you've been in some of our other sessions, I'm sure you know this already, but this is just a little bit about Community Boost. We exist to empower social ventures changing the world. You can see some of our stats on the right side. So we support over 400 nonprofits directly, bringing in 40 million donation revenue. And then we also run the Nonprofit Marketing Summit. If you haven't joined the Nonprofit Marketing Summit in the past, you still have a chance. We have our summit coming up in 2023 in February. So last year we had over 40,000 nonprofit leaders registered for that event. So please join in February. It'll be awesome. And we also have 60 plus Rockstar team members at Community Boost. We have an amazing team. I love being a part of it. So yeah, that's just a little bit about Community Boost. And then again, I am the associate marketing specialist at Community Boost, also social media specialist at Community Boost. I've, kind of taken on the social media strategy here, and like Candace said, launched some reels this year, which we've seen huge improvement with our social media strategy this year. So, yeah, I'm super pumped to be here with all of you today. So for the agenda, we're going to walk through just first evaluating your current social media strategy, because that's kind of what every strategy starts with. And then we'll dive a little bit into an actual year in social media timeline, what that looks like, and then what some strategies look like for each channel and what other nonprofits are doing during year end for their social media strategy. So, first things first, these are some of the benefits to driving high engagement on social media during year end. First thing, you'll have a chance to get your audience invested in the stories that you're telling this year end. So, of the social media users who do donate, 56% said that compelling storytelling is what encouraged them to donate in the first place. So, social media is just a great way to be more personable. The platforms are great to build community and just really get to know your audience, and also have your audience get to know you with compelling storytelling. On social media, you can also increase opportunities for turning your audience from followers to supporters. So again, you can't just throw out a donation or ask for a donation without having your audience know about you and understand what your mission is, what you guys do throughout the year, what you do during year end. So this is just a great way to, you can really convert those followers and get them to actually donate or volunteer, or just support your cause in general. So the next thing would be that it really makes it easier for you to retarget these audiences with ads later, and decreases your return on ad spend later in the game. So if you were planning on running ads in the future or already do, increasing your organic social media is what you need to also help with your ad strategy. All right, so like I said, every strategy starts with analytics. And so, what you're going to do with your social media strategy during year end, if you haven't already, is take a look at which channels and posts work the best for you. So, what is the easiest channel for your team to post on? If you have a pen and paper or notebook, I'm going to kind of be interacting with you through the session. So, just take some notes, write a few things down, but just write down out of these channels. If you're using more channels, that's great, write those down too. But what is the easiest channel for your team to post on? And then also, which one of these channels are you already posting on, and where did you see the most interaction last year end? So just take a look at these, write them down. If you don't really necessarily need to reinvent the wheel here, so you don't need to pick up a new channel if it's something you're not already using. If Instagram's working great and you're reaching your audience there, then you can just leave it at that and really dive into Instagram for year end. All right, so you can also, yeah, I see some stuff in the chat too. So it looks like LinkedIn, TikTok, and Facebook. TikTok is great. Definitely increases audience interaction there. So love to see that. And then after you determine those channels, you're going to dive into the top performing posts of each of those channels. So there's tons of different ways you can do this. And this is just an example of a template that we have in our social media guide. So this is an example of like your top Facebook posts. So you can use this to analyze the top performing posts. You can see what kind of posts have worked, whether they were short or long text posts, if they had images or videos. This is where you'll be able to see, okay, which one's got the highest reach, which one's got the highest comment shares, and then you can use that to develop your year-end strategy. So you can take those posts and repurpose them, or see that, okay, video works best on Facebook, or high resolution photos works best on Facebook. So I'm going to repurpose that, or not repurpose that, but use that and create more of those posts during year end to create more engagement there. And then Lorenzo, oh, okay. See, Candace already put the guide in there. So yeah, we break this down in this social media guide for you too. So you can build all of this out on your own as well. You can download it now or later, but I would highly suggest working through this section. Okay, so year-end social media timeline. This is where we're just going to really get into the timeline of like when you should post what. There's probably tons of ideas you have, and you probably want to know at what time should you post what kind of post. So during this time, October through November, beginning of November, mid November, this is the pre wiring gratitude phase. So, this is where you're pre wiring your donors or potential donors and supporters with impact metrics from the year and gratitude. For instance, like X amount of dollars creates X amount of shoes. So this is a really great way to show what your nonprofit is already doing, the impact you've already made over the course of the year or the course of the existence of the nonprofit. And then next thing would be to continue to engage and attract users with your regular posts. So don't stop posting the posts that you have been posting in the year leading up to this. You can continue to post that. You can continue to post updates and testimonials and all the things you've been posting, but that's just a good thing to keep in mind here. You can continue, you don't have to go right into year end and Giving Tuesday. You can just continue to do what you've already been doing too. But next thing would be showcase your nonprofit out in the field or in the office. So here's a great way to use reels, stories, high resolution pictures on Facebook, Instagram, all the platforms. But you can showcase what it looks like to work with your nonprofit, what you're doing day to day. It could be something as simple as you guys sitting in the office having lunch together, whatever you do day to day, capturing that and showing people what it's like to be a part of your nonprofit and really get them to feel like they're a part of your mission as well. Next thing would be you can start to update them on giving events and Giving Tuesday. So Giving Tuesday is coming up. This is a great time to start to put those feelers out and start talking about what you're doing for Giving Tuesday, what you're doing for year end, and the events you have planned in the coming months. So you can start to post those now and update your audience on that. You can also make a soft ask at this point. That's totally fine too, on your posts. And then you can also begin a thank you campaign for donors and volunteers. So you can, this time too, great time. One day you can post thank you to your donors or volunteers that volunteered at a recent event or have volunteered in the past at all. So yeah, there's tons of ways you can pre-wire here, but those are just a few of them. Here's an example of Girls Incorporated. So this is a thank you post. They've have the girls here with a sign, thank you for supporting us. And then in the caption, it shows the impact of how they've met their goal. So this is just a cool way to really show, it's not just a graphic image, it's an actual image of the people involved in your nonprofit. So I thought this was a really great example. Here's another example from Charity Water. So again, here's a high resolution image of Postina, who looks like she was able to, with clean water, was able to develop her donut business and then create stability for her family. This is something they posted on Twitter, and it's just really awesome, engaging photos that I think are great to post during this time as well. And then, all right, so once you get to Giving Tuesday, end of November, this is the full launch of Giving Tuesday. And Giving Tuesday serves as the main launch point in what is outwardly seen as the start to year end fundraising. So during this time, I would suggest highlight key giving events for the weeks ahead. Again, you might have introduced that in the beginning of November or October. And then at this time, you want to highlight the giving events for the weeks ahead and continue to push those and let your audience know what's happening during that time. So next thing would be launch your Giving Tuesday campaign. So this is the time, you're going to really push that Giving Tuesday campaign. If you have Facebook fundraisers going, put those on Facebook, run Giving Tuesday events. You can use Instagram Live, Facebook Live to show your audience what you're doing on Giving Tuesday. Just if you have a fundraising event going on, you can be Instagram living or Facebook living, and some people will be able to join and see what your nonprofit is doing that day. Next thing would be showcase the impact made. So this would be, after Giving Tuesday, or even, during Giving Tuesday, you can be showcasing what's happening, the people that are being helped, and the volunteers who made that possible. All right, so there's a lot of information, but here's just a couple examples for you. So for Giving Tuesday, you can see on the right, this is Skid Row Housing Trust. So they just posted a graphic image. I believe this was actually on Facebook that they posted this. So they're just letting their audience know that their donation will be doubled because they have a partner with Union Bank. So, if you donate to Skid Row Housing Trust, by 11:59 on Giving Tuesday, then your gift will be doubled. So this is just a cool post. This is what you can do with your nonprofit if you have something like this going on. And then the next example would be from Fiverr Children's Foundation. So here again, they're kind of doing a little bit of both. They're talking about how Giving Tuesday is right around the corner, and then also showcasing impact by showing a testimonial of someone, of Alessandra, who they've helped in the past, helped their family. So um, this is just two really cool example posts. You can use these. You can do your own swing on things and just kind of see how other nonprofits are doing it and how it can be successful. All right, so during the engagement phase, this is during early through mid-December. This stage is perfect to drive high engagement by starting conversations with your audience around your cause and posing questions, and encourage sharing. Encourage people to tag 3 friends you want to spread holiday cheer to, or have people do a challenge. So this is a really good engagement phase where you can really use social media um, to encourage donation, to encourage supporting. So one thing would be encourage peer-to-peer fundraising on Facebook. This is Facebook is an awesome way. Anybody can create a fundraiser for your nonprofit. So encourage your followers, encourage their friends to create a birthday fundraiser. It's super easy, and people are way more likely to give to someone they know rather than a random thing they haven't heard about. So use Facebook during this time. And then the next thing would be you can start putting out some fundraising benchmarks, showing people where you're at, where your nonprofit is at with their fundraising, what you've already accomplished during year end, and what you're looking to accomplish before the end of the year. And then you can also introduce recurring giving here. This no problem with doing that. Showing other supporters what it would be like if they gave monthly, and what that would do for your nonprofit, and what that would do for them, how that would be easier for them. And then yeah, again, during the big finish, end of November, or sorry, end of December. So this is when you really want to create urgency. So 31% of all giving occurs in December, and 12% of total donations occur in the last 3 days of the year. So just creating urgency is great. A good way to do that is going live on social during events. That's you face to face with your audience, talking to them, telling them, look, we only have this many days left. Look what we're doing. Look what we've already done. this is how you can create an impact right now. And then, yeah, again, like create urgency in post. You can use tons of CTAs in each post and just create that urgency saying, there's only 3 days left of the year. We need to hit this benchmark and we're this close. And then that's when you're going to make that hard ask and promote your donation landing page. So, you're going to be doing this, you're going to be promoting your donation landing page throughout the last couple months of the year, but this is just that time you really want to promote that donation landing page and making sure that getting from social media to the donation landing page is fairly easy. All right, next slide. All right, so this is an example of a nonprofit posting a reel. So this is them during a fundraising event. I just want to play it quickly. All right, so again, that was literally just a video of UNRW USA. They have this fundraising event. It's a 5K, and they're just creating a video on their iPhone and putting a sound to it. Reels get way higher engagement and reach than regular posts. So this is something easy. You don't need, a videographer or anybody to do something like this. And this is just a cool example and way to use Reels for year end. All right, so sorry about that technical difficulties. All right, so January is after year end has concluded. It's follow up and gratitude time. So this is when you're really going to dive into just follow up from year end, and then gratitude to all of the volunteers, the donors, and supporters that have helped your cause. So you're going to show your appreciation with tons of donor appreciation posts. If you have a report of your year end, or that's a good time to launch that report, or just showcase your year end wins and metrics from your campaigns. So continue telling stories using Reels and TikToks, showing what that impact looks like, showing what those wins and metrics have done for your nonprofits. For your nonprofit, maybe showcase what impact that's making directly. So then you can begin to analyze data on social media during this time. We'll get a little more into that later, but you can dive into your analytics of your social media and start seeing, okay, now which posts did well and which didn't, and then what can we do for the next following year, and just start to kind of look at that while it's fresh in your brain. So then it's going to be in February, it's going to be recurring giving time. So I know year end doesn't just end at the end of the year. I'm sure a lot of you know that, but it's really good to kind of keep going with this momentum and start looking forward to the next year and using this time to capture those people that are invested in your cause through social media and start encouraging them to get involved with recurring giving. Excuse me. Ooh. All right, so this is, again, nurture new and existing donors with stories of impact. You're going to share posts. Sorry, having a little of a cough attack. All right, so you're going to share posts that answer the question, why upgrading their gift to becoming a recurring giving will make the most impact in the coming years. All right, so here's a couple examples. We have Fiverr Children's Foundation again. So they're showcasing, their impact in the last 20 years. Excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry. So this is just, again, showcasing what has happened in the past 20 years. Thanks, Candace. I don't know what's going on. Thanks, Tiffany. All right. So they are looking at what has happened in the last 20 years instead of just like year end. But this is, a great example of a post. They've got a perfect image, big big numbers showing, capturing the audience's eye and capturing um, what kind of impact they've made. So then on the right, we have another reel. Excuse me, guys. I'm sure it'll be done soon. All right, so this is from Girls Who Code, and this is just showcasing their impact. I'm going to play the video. All right, so again, this is somebody from the nonprofit who is directly impacted from the nonprofit. So this is just a really cool way during that time to show, you can do this during all of your end as well, but I just love this example because it's this woman who was able to go to aviation school with this through this nonprofit. And it's just a great way to like show real people doing real things through social media. Okay. Okay, so next thing would be determining the content pillars and streamline your process. I know I'm kind of going fast through this, but we're going to have time for Q&A at the end. So please put your questions in the Q&A section of the chat, and then I will get to your questions at the end. So this is when you're going to take a look at your pillar content or large form content and use them to streamline your process. So things like fundraising events, impact stories, past wins, year-end campaign updates, blogs or vlogs, and more. So I know I've kind of went through this already, but this is just an overview of like what are the content pillars you're going to directly pull from to create all of the posts that you're going to create for year end. So, if there's 60 days left in year end, and then into January and February, you can use all of these things to pull from and create multiple different pieces of content from that. So this is what we use. Sorry about that. This is a little example of what the process looks like. There can be more than 4 content pillars, but this is just a few ideas. Excuse me. Whew, thanks, guys. All right. So okay, I think I'm ready. All right, so so these are just a few examples. Again, fundraising events, highlights from blogs, impact stats, organization history about your nonprofit. For example, maybe your nonprofit has a report of last year's impact or this year. That pillar content could be broken down into multiple graphics highlighting different metrics. It could be broken down into video, photos, plain text, and then those micro pieces of content get distributed across your social media channels. Again, this is part of the social media guide, so you have the chance to fill this out for yourself and determine your content pillars and then determine which social media channels they're getting distributed across. You can do this on paper right now, or again, you can, like I said, you can download the social media guide. All right, we also have this template, which is part of the social media guide that you can use to develop your nonprofit pillars and then even plan out your content. So you can see here on the right, or sorry, on the left, I have the channel. So you can list which channel you're going to be posting on. It could be all channels. It could be Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn and Twitter, or just LinkedIn. But this just shows you a breakdown of at which times during year end you're going to be posting. You can do a description of what the post will look like, the type of post it's going to be, and then also you can list the call to action, who's responsible, the status, whether it's not started, it's drafted, it's completed, and then things that content depends on. So if you say, again, if you have an impact report going out and you need that impact report to post that post, and you can add that dependency there if you like. So this in this template you can copy. You have the opportunity to copy this, and then fill this out for yourself again. So this is a really helpful thing you can use, which is also in the social media guide. All right, so diving into channel strategies for year end. So there's some strategies across all channels that you're going to want to use. And then there's some, specific strategies for each channel. Those are all in the social media guide as well, but these are just a few overviews of social media strategies for all channels. So make sure that your branding, voice, messaging is consistent across all channels, along with, your description and your profile image. So you want to make sure that that profile image is easily identifiable across Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of those channels. You want to make sure that when someone has been following you on Facebook, types you in on Twitter, and they see that logo or see that profile image, they know, okay, that's that nonprofit. That's just really good brand awareness there. And then also you want to make sure that that messaging is consistent across all of the channels, so they, it feels like they're connected to you. It feels like they're talking to the same person. They're not talking to multiple different organizations or multiple different people. Next thing, you want to engage with your users. So while you're posting on social media, you also want to be engaging, because that's what's going to really increase your reach, increase your overall engagement on all channels, is by liking, commenting, following other accounts, retweeting other people, or commenting on things you've been retweeted in. Make sure that there's somebody designated on your team to go in, whenever you can, but best thing would be every day. But if you can do a couple times a week, they can go in and respond to comments, they can respond to messages, just so that people who are engaging with you are really getting that response and are really seeing that, community there. Next strategy for all channels would be to schedule posts. You can use, your scheduling software if you have that, or you can use Meta Business Suite. So we'll get into Business Suite in a second, but next strategy would be using video and high resolution photos to show impact. So video and photos, great way to engage with your community on social media. Video is super engaging, we know that, and then high resolution photos that we've seen in the previous examples are a really great way to show your impact and to really reach your audience. All right, the next thing is Meta has launched these recurring giving tools that I just wanted to highlight, because I think these are going to be really helpful for all of you during year end. So first thing is that Meta, one of the recurring giving tools is matching. So Meta will match recurring donations on Facebook 100% up to $100 on the second monthly donation. So those are a few little things that you just want to pay attention to, but this is just, like you can see here on the right, Global Goods Giving Tuesday recurring giving campaign. And this is where somebody is on their phone and they can choose to donate monthly rather than make a one-time donation. So this is literally like your donation page right on Facebook. If you aren't using this, I highly suggest diving into Meta and starting to use this for your year-end campaign. The next tool is reporting. So again, I talked about looking at your insights before, but you can report on your recurring giving. And then you can see like the number of donations overall, and then distinguish between recurring and one-time donors in your transaction report. So this is just a really awesome thing that Meta or Nonprofit Manager is offering for free for nonprofits. And then the next tool would be the welcome messages. So you can create like an automated welcome message. So it's, amazing. It's like when somebody does support your nonprofit, they automatically get this message. And so it's not just they donate and then they are left in the dust. Again, this is like these strategies are used for email and things like that, but this is just a free, great way to use it on social media. All right. So as far as scheduling and publishing, I mentioned I was going to get into Meta Business Suite. So this is that time. But I do want to launch a quick poll and ask if your nonprofit is using a social media scheduling tool. Um, so I just wanted to kind of get a feel of who's in the audience, and if you have a scheduling software already, if you use Meta Business Suite, and then the rest you schedule individually on each channel, or if you don't have any scheduling software. So Lorenzo, if you want to launch that poll for me. Awesome. So if you guys want to engage with this poll, we can see what everyone is using. I see Hootsuite, Auxilia, Meta for Facebook and Insta. We use that too. All right, so it looks like great. 44% have a scheduling software and 32% don't have a such scheduling software. So, and then 24% use Meta Business Suite and schedule on each channel. All right, I see the numbers shifting a bit, but this is looking great. Yeah, I mean, I think a scheduling software is amazing if you can afford it. If not, there's tons of other options. And again, the template that I showed previously and what's in the social media guide is what you can use, if you're not using a scheduling software, to really plan out your strategy. All right, we can get back to my slides if possible, Lorenzo. Okay, I'll just put my slides on. Um, Sorry, you guys, technical difficulties. I'm just going to try and pull down my poll so I can put my slides back up. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So this is Meta Business Suite. I just wanted to give a quick overview of this. If you're not already using this, I think this is free. If you're not, those that said they don't use a scheduling software, or don't schedule their posts, I think you should definitely dive a little bit into Meta Business Suite. This is where you can plan your posts. So once you have your general content planned out for what you are posting, you can schedule months in advance the post that you want to post on Facebook and Instagram. So Meta is where owns Facebook and Instagram. You can post on both. You can post reels, you can post regular posts, you can post stories. This is just an amazing way to really get ahead of the game and simplify your strategy during your end, because I know it's a busy time, and this is just a great way to create a lot of freedom and a lot of time on your schedule. And then the next thing you can, again, I said before, you can up at the top right, you can see that you can create stories, create reels, create posts, and then you can look at, the reach, the engagement, likes on all of those posts and see how they're performing. You can even do A/B testing on Meta Business Suite. That's just I think that's something you should definitely be trying to do this year, and seeing which posts, did perform the best, and then you can use that and adjust your strategy accordingly. All right, so before I have another cough attack, um, that is the end of our session. I want to have some time for Q&A, but I just want to take this time to let you guys know that you can, if you're interested in learning more about how Community Boost can maximize your year-end results, you can book a one-on-one year-end review with our experts. So scan this QR code and get in touch with our experts to start maximizing your year-end results. And then also, if we can post that link for the social media guide one more time in the chat, that'd be awesome. and then I'm ready for some Q&A from you all.
Thank you so much, Maria. We're getting that link pasted in the chat in just one moment. Thanks for powering through. You did great. I really appreciate you showing us all of this. I think it's so cool to see how nonprofits can take like a really systematic approach to social media, where I feel like a lot of the times it's just like shooting at the hip, post here and there. This was so great to kind of see like a pro and how you approach it and how this can really be implemented, especially when it comes to year end. It's been really, really cool to hear your insights. So I saw some questions in the chat that was more about like, how do you create these reels? Like, do you always just do it through Instagram directly, or do you use any other tools for those?
Um, yeah, I mean, I I personally only use Instagram Reels. I create it right on the platform. It's super easy. Um, I did see someone ask the question about that Girls Who Code reel, and they said, how did they create this? That was something that was just the girl on her phone. Maybe she had good lighting or something, but she was just creating that reel, took two different videos, her, in the first clip and then her in the second clip. And then you have the opportunity to put text on that reel. You can add effects, tons of like different kinds of music that's trending on reels. So you don't need anything. You can just create it right on the Instagram platform. We have some blogs on our blog that talks about how to create reels, and then you can also, it's pretty simple to look up on Google how to create. It can be a basic reel. I would just create reels because we've started doing it and right away started getting like 10 times the amount of reach from our regular post, and that's just continued through the past like 6 or 7 months. So definitely just do it. I mean, if you haven't already, just do it and just start to see, maybe post once a week. If you can post 3 times a week, that's great. And just see how that impacts your social media. It's pretty awesome to see.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I just pasted in the blog post how to make reels on Instagram like a pro for your nonprofit. So hopefully that gives people some tactical tips they can take a look at. Awesome. And so totally cool. If you don't know the answer, but Liz asked, you mentioned recurring giving through Meta. Is that also on their back end rather than on our own recurring software?
Um, so this is strictly through Meta. I'm not sure about your specific software that you use, but this is specifically a recurring giving platform for, I guess, nonprofits maybe that don't have another software. Um, so yeah, if you have Facebook for your nonprofit, then you have this opportunity to use Nonprofit Manager and use the recurring giving tools.
Yeah. And so yeah, it's directly through their fundraising tools. I'm gonna paste another link in the chat, which is like their help article with more information. Now, I do caution that sometimes the meta match has in the past gotten eaten up really really fast, like sometimes within the first 10 minutes of being launched. But what's really cool about this is that it's less Giving Tuesday specific and more about year end specific, and it is specifically geared towards matching recurring gifts. So I think it's a great test to see if this could be used for your organization. I think they're matching gifts from like up to $100. Yeah, let us know if you have more questions about it. We can probably help with them. Um, I saw do you know, Maria, if this also works for peer to peer, like fundraisers?
The recurring giving.
Yeah. Hmm.
I'm not sure. I could get that answer and send it out to you, but yeah.
Yeah, Kathleen, why don't you follow up with us? Let's double check on it because we just got some new information about this recently. But I do think that it counts. I'm pretty sure it counts, but I do have to. I want to make sure that we give you the right answer. But you can also join our peer to peer session later, and we'll have more information for you then.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Nicole asks, where on Meta do you find the nonprofit resources?
So if you have your nonprofit Facebook page up, um, then you can go into there's tons of Facebook help articles too that we can post, but they should just be right on your main home page. If you go into the left section of your Facebook, there's going to be like a menu, and that's where you can find those all of the resources that that nonprofit has to offer. And then you can also find Meta Business Suite there as well. I know Candace, you just posted the social impact Facebook link, so that's where you can probably find that too.
Cool.
And then we also have, in the accelerator too. I know we've mentioned this before, but we have videos that I have broken down how to access those things as well. If you want to check that out too, and